To our right as Concord his long ball forward straight away, and early touch for Alan Julian in the Billericay goal, who clears it right-footed. Good looking kick by Alan Julian, halfway inside the Billericay half, and it's met by Connor Smith, and now with Geraldo Martin, who's played it back to Billy Clifford. Geraldo on this left-hand side of defence today plays a good looking ball up to Adam Coombs, who struggles to keep that in. It just ran away from him slightly. Pitch is good, there's a lot of grass on it.
Yeah, pitch looks very good actually. Nice ball from Billy Clifford there. I think always looking up, looking for the forward pass. You know, he's not going sideways at all. So Billericay starting with intent.
Here's another bitterly cold day. Lee and I got out of a car earlier, and there's a horrible smell coming from one end of the ground, and there is actually a sewage works behind the goal Alan Julian's standing at the moment as Rooney knocks the ball forward for Billericay. Aaron Pollock fails to keep it in, although Adam Coombs thinks Pollock got a touch, I'm not so sure. And just inside their own half now, Pollock tosses the ball forward. And the ball comes back inside, but Clifford wins it for Billericay, lays it back to Kizzy, hits a long ball forward, and then there's a clash between Adam Coombs and I think it's a number 4 of Connor Esson. Seems to clash heads there. The referee's given a free kick towards Concord. I think it was a 50-50 one.
Yeah, what actually happened was Coombs was looking behind him at the trajectory of the ball and following that, and he didn't notice that Connor Esson was in front of him, so he just ran into him. Connor Esson's on his feet now, he looks okay. I think we can carry on.
Sam Besant, all in green this afternoon for Concord Rangers. Of course, he's the son of ex-Wimbledon, Chelsea and England keeper Dave Besant. The first keeper ever to save a penalty in the FA Cup final. Connor Smith picks the ball up for Billericay, plays a good looking ball out looking for Adam Coombs, but then it's just slightly ahead of Adam, who really didn't have a cat in the hell's chance of stopping that ball from going into touch, and it'll be a throw into Concord Rangers halfway inside their own half. Ball's knocked forward by the number 6 of Aaron Pollock. Billericay clear the lines again, and then the number 5 of Lou Minshaw, the captain, knocks it forward, and the ball ends up in the Billericay town penalty area, which is collected by Alan Julian. He has Blitzen closing him down, gets his kick away quickly, played up to Adam Coombs, who flicks it on looking for Moses Emmanuel. And then the ball cleared by Fraser Shaw. A bit of head tennis going on in the Billericay half. Eventually it's down on the ground and Rooney will clear his lines. It's intercepted by Concord, and the ball knocked back up just in the Billericay half on this right hand side with Danny Green. And the first touch for Jesse Deborah. This is a good one, finds Geraldo. Geraldo loses possession though, and then wins it back again. And a few tackles flying in. Eventually Concord bring the ball down, but very good closing down by Geraldo, who of course is also returning from injury today. And the ball goes out for a throw into Concord Rangers, just in front of us. Billericay Town brought a lot of support today.
I can hear a lot of sound coming from behind the goal. I think just looking across there, I think a lot of people have turned out today to support the new managers.
Well, it's a good sign to see. Let's hope we can give them something to make their visit worthwhile. The ball with Fraser Shaw on that left hand side lays it back to the number 5 of Lee Minshaw, who a hopeful ball forward. It's met by Paul Rooney, and Billericay will clear their lines again before giving the ball away. And Fraser Shaw will go across into the area. Shot comes in, it's a goal! It's gone straight to the corner of it. Alex Wall, the scorer for Concord Rangers. And Billericay have got a goal down in the 4th minute here.
Well, I think that's the soft centre of the Billericay defence being firmly exposed by Concord. There's a high ball into the box. No Billericay defender was near it, and Alex Wall sneaked in round the back and planted a header firmly past Alan Julian. Well, the worst possible start for the tenure of
Harry Wheeler, of course, not being here today. Jamie O'Hara's here, but completely unmarked. Free header, wasn't there? There's a couple of them free in that area, and Billericay will have to come from behind to try and salvage something from this game. Concord with a throw-in their own half, and Aaron Pollock pulls it forward, and then the ball looks like a free kick to Billericay. We have Alan Julian also wearing a lighter green this afternoon than his counterpart in the Concord goal. Takes a free kick, hits it up towards the look at the edge of the penalty area. It's hit towards FT. There's FT now in the area for Billericay, but the ball shielded out of play by the Concord defence. Joe Gardner it was, over on that far side in front of the Billericay fans. Just shepherding the ball out of play, and it'll be a goal kick to Concord Rangers. We gather you hearing us loud and clear this afternoon, which is good. You should be, because I'm using my phone, and my phone always works. But I can't plug a microphone into it, so you might get some background noise.
I've just heard you loud and clear, so hopefully all our listeners can too.
The ball headed back towards that Billericay Town defence, and it's picked up straight away. Kizzy with a brave challenge there. The ball eventually comes out to FT. He's playing on this right-hand side as more wing-back position today, and still has possession. He's got Fraser Shaw with him, and eventually gets the ball back to Clifford, who gets the ball into the area, and it's cleared by Lee Minshaw up towards Midson, the number 10 for Concord, who's tripped by Clifford. The referee allows play to continue. The ball pumped down the field now to the number 9 of Alex Wall. Alex Wall, the goal scorer, of course, who's got Paul Rooney up against him. Rooney leans his shoulder in and wins a free kick.
Now, Alex Wall is 6'2" and very solid, and Rooney's just knocked him off the ball there. And I thought, perhaps the referee's going to give a foul, but no, it's a free kick to Billericay. So good physicality from Rooney, and chance for Billericay to settle after that early shock.
Yeah, probably 150 to 200 Billericay Town supporters gathered behind that goal, making a lot of noise at the moment. As the ball comes out to Geraldo on this left-hand side for Billericay, halfway inside the area, finds Deborah lays it back to Jake Howes and will look to come forward again. Plays the ball out to Geraldo on the left again, and Geraldo could get across in here. He's going towards the edge of the penalty area, down to the byline, then cuts back inside, completely turned Aaron Pollock there, and eventually the ball rebounds back off of Geraldo, and it's a goal kick. Good move by Billericay, started by Jesse Deborah.
Yeah, Jesse strode forward there from midfield, pushed the ball out to Geraldo, who now he's playing on the left. That's his best side. He took on his man, went past him. Unfortunately, the ball got a little bit stuck under his feet, and Concord were able to avert the danger.
Besant with a goal kick, reaching just inside the Billericay Town half. The referee's seen a push by Deborah on Alex Wall. It's been a very slight one. Deborah walking away, shrugs his shoulders at the referee. As if to say who me, but it'll be a free kick halfway inside the Billericay Town half on this right-hand side, which will be taken by Danny Green.
No surprises where this is going.
He's heading for those big men again. Wall and Midson up there. It's a low crossfire, it's a poor one, and Adam Coombs heads it away easily. He has possession now with Geraldo coming down this left-hand side. He turns it back into Clifford, back to Geraldo, who's ball back to puts Deborah under pressure, and eventually Joe Kizzy has to come across and clear it. As a poor ball by Geraldo. But he's won possession again, does well this time, gets the ball out to Clifford. Clifford has Adam Coombs up ahead of him, finds a pass looking for Adam Coombs, but it's hitting the wrong direction and goes out for a goal kick to Concord. 9 minutes gone on the home side. Concord lead by a goal to 0. I'm told Lee it gets even colder here.
Doesn't surprise me. Second half, I think, was a real chiller.
Got a caravan park opposite us. It looks like there's quite a few people in those caravans at the moment.
Well, nobody's having a barbecue.
Jesse wins a header for Billericay Town. He'll put the ball up again and hits a high ball forward, looking for a run of Moses and Manuel, but the number 4 of Connor Essens there to head it away, but he only does so as far as Jake Howes on the halfway line. He plays it forward, but Billericay lose possession again. Mitchell turns it back to his goalkeeper, Besant, who clears downfield, and then a jump by Rooney, and Midson's alleged to have backed in. And Billericay will have a free kick with Jake Howes, the captain for Billericay this afternoon. Plays it up to Joe Kizzy on that right hand side. Efforty playing more advanced for Billericay this afternoon on that right hand side.
Yeah, he's got a bit more licence now as a wing back to push forward with the 3 at the back there, a bit more security. So I think right wing back is probably one of his strongest position for me.
Ball hit forward to Alan Julian in the Billericay goal, who collects it quite easily, bowls it out to Joe Kizzy on that right back position at the moment. He finds Jake Howes, and Howes turns Midson and bring it up towards the halfway line where he finds Clifford, taps the ball back to Kizzy on that right hand side. Over the halfway line we go, chips it forward, but it's a poor ball by Kizzy, and Concord will look to counter that. Even equally worse ball gives Billericay possession again, and Concord win possession back off Efforty, and Jake Howes with a sliding challenge. And I think Efforty might have been penalised there for a foul. He has been. Concord player saying he raised a foot.
I think there are a couple of full-body tackles in there, but nothing of particular note. I think it's that Concord have got a free kick, so we'll take a slight pause.
I think the referee does want to work with Efforty. He's just going over there and going to speak to him. Didn't look too much from here, to be honest.
No, certainly not. I think with Concord 1 up, that's probably quite a bad position to be in the way that they play, because they do tend to seek to contain teams, and certainly they've scored early on in other games and managed to hold that lead for the entirety of the game. So hopefully Billericay can come up with something.
Well, Efforty has actually been shown a yellow card for that challenge, would you believe, after all that? As the ball comes into the area, and it looks like Whitson pulled Efforty out. Billericay clear the ball, and as far as Moses, who had to put the ball into touch. That's worth a booking tackle. It's a bit harsh, isn't it? A bit early in the game, isn't it?
It certainly was. I mean, I think if you remember the Southend game on Tuesday, you pretty much had to punch someone to get sent off, and that was about the only thing that would get you sent off.
As we were talking to Jamal Loza just before the game there, the tackle on him on the Southend game was awful. It was a diabolical challenge, and I think 99 times out of 100 would have got you sent off. Somehow the Southend United guy remained on the pitch. It's a tackle which has put Loza out of this game today. There's Concord hovering outside the edge of the Billericay Town penalty area, kicked the ball forward, and it's Alex Hall again, and looked to be fouling Jesse Deborah, but Deborah does well to clear the ball away. And it'll be I think it's gone out for a corner. Just our view is slightly obscured here. It was a corner to the Canby boys of Concord Rangers. And it comes in deep, looking for those big heads. It's met by the head of Nixon, and then Jake Howes is fouled, so the referee blows up, and it's a free kick to Billericay Town, who trail by a goal to nil after 14 minutes. Lee?
I think on that corner, what concerns me is that Concord won 2 headers there before Billericay had even touched it. So we've got to watch this set piece vulnerability.
I was going to speak to you about this before the game started, actually. One of the problems I've noticed against Chippenham, against Southend as well, is our vulnerability in the air. It doesn't seem to matter who's playing really, but no, at the front and at the back we're having a few problems with headers.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a weakness. I think since we lost Dean Inman, who was exceptionally strong at the back in the air, it's not been quite the same. And obviously Adam Cunnington, who used to drop back as well. So it doesn't mean that they're the only two people in the world who can head a ball. But at the moment, we don't seem to be able to replace them.
There's a left-footed shot by Alex Waltz, has gone high, almost out of the ground. What we're going to call it the sewage works end. It's a dim-looking building, isn't it? Horrible-looking place behind them.
Yeah, I've just on the shot. I think that was Joe Gardner. Hit a left-foot shot and had a lot of power in it, but just a bit too high.
Of course, the ex-Billericay Town kitman Nigel Howes is now at Concord. I don't think he fancies fetching the balls out of the sewage treatment works every time it goes over there. He's going to have to use a stronger detergent if he does. As Concord come forward again. A ball played out on this right-hand side to Danny Green. Danny Green back to Aaron Pollock, and he clips it forward. And then Billericay Town will defend throwing here. It comes in quickly back to Pollock. Pollock gets across in the area, and coming across was Joe Kizzy, who was fouled by Alex Wall as that ball came in. But those two tall strikers, Wall and Midson, giving Billericay a few problems at the back at the moment.
Yeah, we've probably got a defence that's suspect in the air against two of the best headers of the ball. We've already seen that Wall's done some damage with his goal in the 4th minute.
And Julian was rooted to the spot, but nothing he could have done about it. It wasn't actually the best connection from the header, but it was just where he placed it. It's just impossible to get to, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's a free header from just outside the 6-yard box. You're not going to see it till it's past you.
Jesse Deborah hits the ball too hard forward. That's another thing I noticed. Our ball's out from Rebecca, off range, shall we say. Something needs to be concentrated upon. As Midson flicks the ball onto Wall, but it's tackled by Deborah, who does well. Plays it out to Kizzy. Kizzy to Efferty on the right hand side for Billericay. 4 or 5 metres inside the Concord half. Howes so plays a sloppy looking ball forward, and it's intercepted straight away. And what we were talking about a moment ago, our balls forward are not very good at the moment, as Midson hits it on, looking for the number 7 of Danny Green. He runs into the brick wall, who is Jesse Deborah. And again, a long ball from Billericay is just met by a Concord shirt. The ball struck forward to Wolf Midson. Alan Junior's going to have to be quick and come out of his goal here. And Jesse and Midson collide on the edge of the area, and I think Midson's taken a bit of a knock here. He's gone down. Might just be winded. But he's holding his side, Jack Midson.
Very positive decision making there from Alan. He saw the ball. The defender was around it, but Alan was taking no prisoners. He came out, cleared the ball, and he's taken a bit of Jack Midson with him as well. Midson's lying on the ground. I mean, there wasn't any foul play there. It's just a normal clearance, and then his follow through took it into him.
Trying to see if there's a physio coming on the pitch here. I think Midson wants a couple more seconds and then he'll get up. He's not looking too happy with himself, I have to admit. Clifford just goes over to check that he's okay, and he gets to his feet and limps back. So as they're defending a throw, Billericay will get almost everybody back behind the ball. Just Emmanuel up front as a throw comes in, and again it's met by a Concord head, and eventually it's met by Howes. Howes plays the ball up. This time it does find a red shirt, and Moses Emmanuel plays a very good looking ball to Adam Coombs. Adam Coombs running towards the Concord area. Concord getting players back as Efferty gets a low cross in, and Sam Besant will go down at his near post and saved comfortably from the cross from Efferty. But that's better from Billericay, the long ball finding its target for once in this match.
Certainly, and the overlap of Efferty from the wing back position, burst forward there, tested the keeper with a shot. I think that's our first shot on target, actually.
Rooney knocks the ball up field to Clifford, who's bundled off the ball on that far side and in front of the television gantry. I think it's colder up there than it is down here. House was going to bring the ball forward. The referee called him back. Now he has the ball and plays it up to Adam Coombs, whose first touch isn't that great. And Mitson wins it for Concord. Recovers to get the ball out to Wall lays it back to Green, and Green back down to Midson, down near the Billericay Town corner flag on Billericay's left hand side. It's gone out of play, and I think it will be a throw into Concord. It's a long throw coming in as well, and Jake House initially did well. There was a hand on the shoulder of Connor Smith there, which the referee hasn't penalised, and Billericay will get possession inside their own area of Adam Coombs, and he plays it upfield, but it's picked up by Lee Minshaw, who knocks the ball forward, finds Wall, gets past his marker, and comes in, and a terrific save from Alan Julian. It was a brilliant header from Midson, flying through the air, and Alan Julian's made a world-class save there.
That's one of the best saves I've seen this season, actually. Alex Wall, he got round the back past Jesse Deborah, put a cross in, and it looked a goal all the way. Midson headed that very powerfully across to Alan's right. He dived and he's pushed it away. World class.
Exceptional save from Alan Julian. It really was. That's why he's in the side today. That's a point to prove to a few people as the corner is flicked on by Midson over the bar, and it'll be a goal kick to Billericay. But a wonderful save from Alan Julian. In fact, 2-0 down would have been difficult to come back from, wouldn't it?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, alarm bells again. You know, guys got in round the back, put the cross in unopposed. Midson's had time to plant the header where he wanted to.
Still Billericay trail by that goal scored by Alex Wall in the 4th minute. We're halfway through the first half. As Julian kicks from right to left. Ball flicked on by Midson and out of play on that right hand side, and Joe Kissy just decided his own half will take a frame for Billericay Town. Hurls it forward towards Adam Coombs, who takes it well and flicks it on, looking for the run of Moses Emmanuel, and then Adam Coombs is pulled down, and it'll be a free kick to Billericay. Halfway inside the half. Inside the Concord Rangers half, which Jake Howes looks as if he's going to take. Billericay have left two back to guard against the counter-attack here, with Alex Wall on the centre circle. Everybody else is up. Howes looks a good-looking cross in, but it's headed away by Concord, running as far as Billy Clifford, who will tip the ball into a penalty area, and again for the second time in a minute it's cleared by Lee Minshaw. And now the ball with Danny Green, who switch play from right to left all the way downfield. It's a good looking ball into Joe Gardner on that side, and the shot will come in there, and it's blocked by Deborah. Back out to Gardner. On that far side he lays it back to the Captain Minshaw, and play switches again to the right hand side with Green chipping it forward. Rooney all clear for Billericay up towards the halfway line where the ball goes out for a throw in. And now the referee coming back to have a word, or to speak to somebody. Adam Coombs has gone down. He's gone down injured. He's holding his left foot, and he will need attention from a physio here.
Yeah, obviously we hope he's all right. He has looked quite lively actually. He's not been found with the killer pass yet, but he's shown a lot of movement and willingness to work hard for the team. And I think on his run of form now, scoring goal a game pretty much, we can ill afford to do without him.
Seems to be a sort of nonchalant challenge for putting him down on the floor. He's getting to his feet, so hopefully he'll run that one off. He's walking slowly back towards the manager's area over there. quite difficult to see them dugouts because they're perspex, aren't they? When I looked across there first of all, I thought, where's the dugouts? But they are there.
Yeah, they are. They are hard to spot. I think we knew obviously they weren't over our side; they're opposite. But yeah, and we've got the view of all the lovely caravans behind, so perhaps that takes our attention.
Yeah, caravans opposite, sewage works to our right hand side. Canby itself's to our left, and the wind's sort of blowing from the sewage works end, so we're getting the full blast of the Canby aroma here this afternoon. As Green will get a cross into the area, it's comfortable one for Alan Julian in the Billericay goal. And Julian will bowl it out to Kizzy, who runs up that right hand touchline, gets to the halfway line, sends it to Billy Clifford, who knocks it forwards to Efferty, and Efferty couldn't keep it in play, and the linesman's flag's gone up for a throw into Concord.
I mean, as yet, we're certainly Billericay don't appear to be stringing too many passes together or showing any pattern of play or identity. It's a little bit bereft at the moment.
Billericay could ill afford to lose another match. They are fairly precariously placed in the 8th position in the Vanarama National League at the moment. Concord have a throw. Ball downfield to Nixon, who failed to keep it in. Yeah, as I was saying, Lee, we've got teams breathing down our neck, haven't we, in that 8th position? St Albans are in 9th on 40, we're on 41. Which is the same as Welling, who are a place above us. It's all still very tightly packed around there. As the cross comes into the Billericay town penalty area again, and it's cleared once more, this time by Kizzy, and it's just ball's being hit forward and just coming straight back into the Billericay half. This time pumped forward by the number 4, Connorson. Geraldo keeps it in, lays it back to Howes, and Billericay just need to try and keep the ball for a second, but they're giving it away again. This time the number 6 of Pollock intercepts. Green again will get across, diagonal cross in towards the area, and Alan Julian is caught by Alex Wall there, but I think the linesman's flag had already gone up for an offside against the Concord player.
Now, I mean, Concord just looked to be a little bit more direct, and this isn't to criticise Concord at all, but you know, the minute they're on the right side, Danny Green's lofting a ball high into our area, and players are attacking it. So there appears to be more of a quicker threat on the Billericay goal, whereas we're kind of trying to play through a bit, and it's breaking down.
Small Concord have a throw with Pollock, who launches it forward. Geraldo, who's half the side of Midson, wins the ball in the air against him, but concedes possession. Green with a cross again, and Green has his interception cleared partially by Joe Kizzy. F2 tries to win it back, but fails to succeed, and Fraser Shaw on that far side will hit the ball forward, but Kizzy's there again, this time tidying up, and plays it back to Julian, who kicks it first time downfield over halfway line, and a good flick on by Coombs to Efferty. Efferty on that far side, as I say, playing a more forward role today. Good looking ball comes in from Billy Clifford, and he's hit that far too hard and far too deep, and it will drift out of play on this far side. I think it's just about gone for a goal kick. We're in a press position here where you can't see either corner flag from your side. You have to lean forward, and there's quite a lot of people standing up where they shouldn't be standing, which doesn't help matters. We're quite low down here in this main stand at Canby.
Have we had a corner yet?
We haven't. And we're in the 30th minute of the game. A game which Concord Rangers lead 1-0. That 4th minute goal by Walt. Referee's seen a foul there, and he's penalised Connor Smith, who was jumping up against Danny Green, and it will be a free kick to Concord. 6 or 7 metres inside the Billericay half on this right hand side, which Green himself will look to take and put another ball into the Billericay box.
Yeah, he's got exceptional delivery with his right foot, Danny Green.
The free kick comes in, it's a good looking one. There's a push on Kizzy there which wasn't picked up by the referee, and the ball's gone out of play for a corner kick to Concord, which will be taken on that left hand side. Looks like Kieran Cadogan warming up over there for Billericay, so maybe just as a precautionary measure because of the knock Adam Coombs took a few moments ago. It comes in and it's met at the near post by Adam Coombs, who will put the ball back out of play for another corner, and that one almost ended up in a caravan park. That must infuriate Nigel when the ball goes over there, mustn't it? But he doesn't get them back, them balls. Corner comes in again, this time it's deeper to that far corner, but Alan Julian jumps well and clicks both his hands, and then he has the ball knocked out of his hand and by Alex Wall, and he's furious there, and he's going to get booked, Wall, for that, for interfering with the goalkeeper. So that's for interfering with the goalkeeper. So Wall's been booked in the 31st minute. Alan Julian wasn't happy with the ball was knocked out of his hands and kicked into the empty net. Paul Rooney just having a word with the referee as well. The referee saying, look, I'm a referee, I control things on this pitch. Unless you're a young man. But unnecessary booking that for Wall, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I think that when you see that happen, you kind of hold your breath for a minute and say he's surely not going to allow it, and thankfully he didn't.
Julian takes the free kick for Billericay. It's met by a Concord shirt, and then Connor Smith falls down. A Concord player over on the far side, and Concord will get a free kick. Should be taken by Sam Besant a few yards outside his area. Big goalkeeper, isn't he, Sam Besant? Played very well against us earlier in the season.
Yeah, I mean, what, 6'2", 6'3"?
Yeah, it's got to be that, at least, I would have thought. It's good we can kick forward as well. And Kizzy climbing all over the back of Mixon. It's with Wall. Wall will have a shot here, and again Alan Julian's down low to make a save. And Alan Julian keeping Billericay in the game here with his saves. Ball with Howes, crosses the halfway line in front of us and finds Coombs. Coombs under pressure from the captain Minshaw, who pulls him down, passes him over. In fact, Billericay take the free kick quickly. Possibly from the wrong position. It was Rooney who had the ball, played it forward, and Billericay again lose possession, but Rooney recovers and chips the ball forward, looking up for Connor Smith. Again, arms all over Connor Smith, the referee letting it go. Concord knocked the ball forward, but it will roll all the way through to Alan Julian, who outside his area just taps the ball to Geraldo. Geraldo comes up to halfway line, plays a risky looking ball forward to Adam Coombs, but he found him, but then there's no one there to help Adam Coombs out. He has to do all the work himself, and did well to win a throw in for Billericay on this left hand side. Geraldo throws it forward, finds Moses, but I think the ball might have drifted out of play. It has done, and it's a throw into Concord, level with the edge of their own penalty area.
Just to give him the credit, Alex Wall had that shot, which was well saved by Alan Julian. He was free and he hit it right-footed immediately, and I think it's a save you'd expect Alan to make, but again called into action.
Goal of a ball thrown forward and goes out of play, and Billericay Town will concede a throw in here on the halfway line. Danny Green will take it, throws it forward, looking for the run of Wall, who's nudged by the loan signing of Jesse Deborah. Throw will be taken, and Connor Smith having his shirt pulled off his back there by Sam Blackman. Referee didn't see that. Billericay will try and mount an attack forward, but Howes skies one forward and Efforty heads it up into the air, and again we concede possession to Concord. Moses Emmanuel. Moses' body language there is, what's going on. As cross comes in again for Concord, and then there's a foul on Jake Howes in the penalty area. Billericay will win a free kick, but just looking at Moses Emmanuel's body language there, not a happy bunny.
He's not really been in the game today, and certainly there has been very little service. Again, one of the compliments I was giving to Adam Coombs was that despite the fact that he's not got the service, he does look quite busy running around and trying to get involved.
A free kick taken by Julian, and Billericay will mount again. Clifford with a good looking ball out to Efforty. Can he get a cross in there? He's got Moses Emmanuel in the area. It's a good looking cross, but it's headed away. Connor Smith picks it up on the penalty area and loses possession. It's knocked forward by Concord again. The ball will be with Geraldo on this left side. Finds Efforty. Not Efforty, it was Debrat. Finds Rooney. He finds Howes, and Howes will get a long ball forward. It's a good looking ball to Connor Smith. His control wasn't brilliant, but he still has possession, and Smith will have a great shot, and it's a terrific goal. My word, what a goal by Connor Smith. The ball was running away. He's got to be 35 yards out, and he's hit it straight over the top of Sam Besant. It's a terrific goal by Connor Smith. Lee,
Absolute screamer, 30 yards out, middle of the goal, no one near him. He's just had a go. He's hit it as hard as he can, and it's rifled into the top corner of the net. It's actually hit the crossbar and gone down from there. So a goal out of the blue for Billericay, but they won't mind that. It's 1-1 and back in the game.
That goal in the 36th minute, and it's 1-1. What a superb effort that was. We've seen some great goals from this team this season. That has to be up there with the very best of them. Of course, that one at Eastbourne, which Devontae Aaron-Sivia scored, was had my co-commentator hitting his head on the roof of the Eastbourne stand that day. But Billericay right back in this game now. That's come out of nowhere, bolt out of the blue, literally.
Certainly was, and Besant had absolutely no chance. He was stood in the centre of his goal, and that ball just went into the top corner.
It really was a thunderous effort. Initially he failed to control the ball properly, but as it ran away to his right, it bobbled and he just hit it, and it flew into the back of the net. Billericay have a throw in with Geraldo. The ball comes off of the thigh of Adam Coombs, and he complains to the referee, and Concord will take the ball forward, and eventually the ball goes out of play, and it will be a throw in down by that corner flag. Might even be a corner again, we can't see. Another long throw coming in, I think, here.
You're always worried just after you've scored, most dangerous time.
As the throw does come in, and it's come off of well, it looks to clearly come off of Conor Esson there. The Billericay Town players thinking that was a Billericay goal kick, but the referee's actually given a corner. Comes in, it's a low one across the face of goal, and it's met by Jake Howes, who heads it forward. It'll be picked up by Midson to Green. He looks to play the 1-2 with Midson, but can't prevent the ball going out for a Billericay goal kick.
Well, that's two crosses into the Billericay box, both won now by Billericay heads, which is good to see. And I'd just like to give a little mention to Jake Howes, because he's playing central midfield. He's been very busy helping out the defence, and several times he's got in there with valuable headers. So Jake Howes doing really well.
Of course, there's no Sam Deering today. Don't know what's happening. He's not on the bench either. Came on against Southend on Tuesday evening for a little cameo performance. He did exceptionally well. Moses for Billericay finds Coombs. Billericay playing with a swagger now. Smith, buoyed by that goal, knocks the ball forward, looking for Emmanuel, and it's picked up by Minshaw. It's a throw into Concord Rangers. taken by Pollock, who throws it forward looking for a header Midson, and Jake Howes heads it forward. It's headed forward again by Concord, and then Jake Howes up, and a lot of head tennis going on. Howes picks the ball up again to Deborah. Hits a high and hopeful ball forward looking for the run of Moses Emmanuel, who, as we said earlier, hasn't really been involved a lot in this game, has he?
It's amazing what a goal does. He's almost transformed now, isn't he? He's running after the ball, he's pretty busy, he's putting in a bit more of a shift.
We have a throw, Geraldo to Billy Clifford, back to Geraldo. Geraldo flips up into the air and it comes off of one of the Concord defenders, and Billericay will have the throw again, but lose possession this time. It's hit up to the halfway line, but it finds Jake Howes for Billericay running into his own half, lets the ball run out of play, and Billericay will have a throw.
Just noting that Jake Howes is captain today. He's certainly playing like a captain, giving encouragement to the others and popping up all over the place.
He's a bit of an unsung hero, Jake Howes, isn't he? He's that sort of player, very quiet but brilliant on the pitch. He holds it all together very well. As is this afternoon, he's there again now, playing the ball forward. Ball comes to Clifford. Clifford will look to put it into the feet of Adam Coombs. He had a better option of Moses, who was up on the left-hand side in acres of room, but didn't use him, and Concord will pick the ball up. It comes up to Geraldo, and then the ball cleared by Green, and it'll be a throw-in just inside the Billericay half to be taken by Geraldo. Well, it's Boyd, the Billericay Town supporters up that one. Clifford up to the goal scorer Smith on that far side, and Smith will put diagonal ball into the area looking for the run of Adam Coombs, and made a good run there, but they didn't find him. I'll read a few of your tweets out in a moment when there's a break in play. Hello from the Roonies in Dublin, listening to your commentary. So Paul Rooney's family there listening as a goal kick to Concord Rangers. What other tweets have we got there, Lee?
Well, I'll just give an update on Paul Rooney. He's looking fit and well, and he's won some important headers today, and he's welcomed back into the defence. He's looked pretty good today, done nothing wrong, and you can all be proud of him.
It's great to hear that you're listening. We hope you're enjoying the commentary from Thames Road, Canby. Billericay have possession again. The ball knocked forward by Deborah, and a good jump ball, and Minshall takes the ball forward where Deborah covers again. Plays the ball up to Connor Smith. Connor Smith to Jake Howes. And Howes, for once, the long ball forward doesn't find its target in Adam Coombs. Just talking about Paul Rooney, he's been very disciplined today. He likes to come out with the ball, doesn't he, from defence a lot. We've noticed that he's got a strong run. He can go and support the attack and then get back very quickly into defence. He's been missed for the last couple of weeks or so since his injury at Weston-super-Mare when he went down clutching his hamstring.
Yeah, it's good to have him back, and it's good that we've managed to get it extended to I think the end of the season now. So the more time he gets settled into that defence, I think he'll be an important part of it.
Obviously, we'd like him to stay here longer than that, even on a permanent deal. Of course, he's on loan from Colchester United at the moment. Green gets inside the area for Concord Rangers and gets a good looking crossing there over on the far side, looking towards Midson, but he couldn't get it. Again, Midson coming close. It was actually Paul Rooney who put him off there. Some good work in defence. It's a goal kick to Billericay Town.
And I'm very sorry to Austin Jones Group, who can't seem to be receiving us this afternoon. Miss Bubbles has confirmed that she is receiving us, and I've just done a check, and it should be broadcasting, so perhaps just try and reboot it and have another go if you can't hear it.
If you can't hear it, you can't hear what you just said.
That's true. I'll get my coat.
Alan Julian with a goal kick as we approach the half-time interval. there shouldn't be too much time for stoppages. There was one for Dixon and a slight one for Adam Coombs, which didn't last very long. We're actually on the stroke of half time now. I haven't seen the ball go up as Concord go forward. A good ball into the box again by Green, and one of the players went down there under a challenge from Kizzy, but it's Paul Rooney who brings the ball out for Billericay and plays a good looking ball out. The field just slightly overstruck by Paul. We'll go through to Sam Bedford. And 1 minute of added time. Not the officials we had the other night. They indicated 2 minutes of added time when there'd been about 5, and then changed it to 1. Kizzy heads the ball back comfortably into the arms of Alan Julian, and the Billericay goal there. Alan will just take his time, I think, trying to play this minute out.
With all those goals on Tuesday night, I think everybody got their money's worth.
He certainly did. As Julian clears the pitch, Moses Emmanuel tries out, jump Minshaw, doesn't do so, neither does Adam Coombs, and the referee saw that as a free kick against Adam Coombs, who was coming in behind Minshaw to hit the ball, even though Minshaw won the header. And so it's a free kick to Concord, maybe one last chance, halfway inside their own half. The kick taken by Besant, who will clear it left-footed down the field. Seems to slightly mishit it. It's picked up by Billy Clifford, who turns it towards Efferty, but Efferty is pushed away from the ball, and it goes out for a throw in. Midson for Concord doesn't control it, and now the ball goes out for a throw into Billericay Town. We're almost 2 minutes over the added on minute. The referee looking at his watch again. The ball knocked forward towards Moses Manuel, but it's Conor Esson who flicks the ball out. It's Moses Manuel with the ball, finds Billy Clifford, and one has to say it's within shooting range of Billy Clifford after his goals against South. He eventually does blow his whistle. We had 2 minutes and 12 seconds of added on time. Billericay will kick off with Billy Clifford, turning the ball back to Paul Rooney, who puts it back to Alan Julian, who clears first time from left to right. And Concord retain position on the right hand side, ball knocked forward, but it should be cleared quite easily by Jesse Deborah, who actually dummies the opposing attacker and lets the ball roll out for a goal kick to Billericay, who will attack the sewage works end of the ground. Ball bumped forward. Alan Julian will come straight back inside the Billericay half. Green and Geraldo looked it. Green thinks he had a throw there and took the throw quickly, looking for Alex Hall, but the throw had actually been given to Billericay Town. Chairman Dan Groves walks past. The ball held forward by Geraldo, looking for Moses. Moses puts a foot on top of the ball and then accidentally rolls it out of play, and he's furious with the referee. Moses looks at the referee. What's what is going on? Now here's Wall for Concord Rangers. Take the ball down to the corner flag at the Billericay end, and we'll play it off the feet of Jake Howes, and it'll be a corner to the home team.
First test of the second half, Concord corner, so let's hopefully we can get a Billericay head on this one.
Alex Wall will float across in. Just positioning the ball now on the quadrant, and plays a good looking cross in. It's a flick header on and eventually cleared by Connor Smith up to the number 12 Joe Gardner. The ball goes out wide, looking to the number 2 Popo. He hasn't really seen a lot of the ball in this game.
Well, that corner skimmed off Kizzy's head, but was eventually cleared by Connor Smith.
Billericay Town will have a throw deep inside their own half, which Joe Kizzy will take on this right hand side. Throws it towards Efferty. It's over the top of Efferty, who doesn't win it, and we'll get a second bite now. It's Minshaw knocks it forward for Concord Rangers, and the ball should go out for a Billericay Town goal kick. Just 3 minutes gone in the second half. 42 minutes plus added time until we get into a nice warmth of the bar area, Luke.
You've already bought me a drink today, so I feel like all my luck's arrived already.
Alan Julian with a goal kick. Over the halfway line it goes. There's an arm in the back of Adam Coombs' head by Lee Minshaw again, the referee. Been a bit lax on that today, but there's a chance now for Moses, and a good looking ball puts Efforty away. Efforty though took too long on the ball and got dispossessed on the edge of the area, and really if he'd got a shot away then it would have been a good chance for Billericay Town to take the lead. Alan Julian halfway out of his goal and clears the ball forward behind Adam Coombs. That was a ball falling to the wrong person at the right time, wasn't it?
It was actually one of the best combinations I've seen today from Billericay. It was a sort of triangle where Coombs fed Moses, and then Moses fed it forward to Effetti, who found himself in the area, faced up by a couple of Concord defenders, but unfortunately the ball seemed to stick under his foot and he couldn't get his shot away.
Gerardo throws the ball to Clifford, knocks the ball forward, but it's intercepted and upfield. Alex Wall wins the header, and a clear handball there by Jesse Deborah. He's going to get booked for that because he's thrown the ball away as well. Referee not happy. He's clamped down on dissent from the word go here today, and he's pulled his card out of his pocket and he's calling Deborah towards it.
I think Deborah's working on the principle that if I hide behind a few players, the referee won't spot me, but I don't think that works, does it? Yeah, referee's taking his name now.
Certainly, so somebody at all can't hide behind anybody. He's not happy with that, but I think justified yellow card. I don't think it's so much of a handball. I think it's for the fact that he threw the ball away afterwards. And the referee holds Ricardo off this afternoon. That's Chris O'Donnell. Green to float the free kick. Comes in, it's headed away by Jake Howes, who's been impressive this afternoon for Billericay Town. Up to the halfway line, but it's knocked forward by Popper in towards the area, and looked like there was Connor Essen trying to volley the ball away. The ball's been smashed into the advertising hoardings below us, which gave me a bit of a fright, so I wasn't actually looking at it at the time. Julian takes a kick forward, but it will be picked up by Popper again on the Fraser Shaw actually on the side, who will let the ball drift out of play. And it will be a throw to Concord Rangers. Finds a header, Mitson only heads it onto Jake Howes, who knocks it forward. Moses Emmanuel leaning into Lee Minshaw.
Yeah, you can't do that, Moses. I mean, he gave him a full arm push there, didn't he?
Minshaw's almost twice the height of Moses Emmanuel. Free kick conceded. It's a goal kick which will be taken to by Besant as the Billericay Town pastors. Gary walks past me. Lucky there, they've got a nice hot cup of coffee in their hands by the looks of it. Clifford just in turning just inside the Billericay half. He's pulled back there. The referee clearly saw that, didn't give anything at all because Billericay had possession, and Rooney will play it to Jake Howes. Howes in a back three for Billericay at the moment by the looks of it. Gerardo's pushed up. Cross comes in from Kizzy towards the near post, and now he's managed to pick the ball up, and I think he might have been fouled there by Besant. He definitely looked as if he was caught. The crowd were applauding, the ball's been cannoned off Moses and goes across the edge of the area, and Billericay Town players asking the referee there. I don't think it would have been intentional by Besant, but now this is there's trouble here for the debutant. He's going here, I think. Jesse Deborah's going to be sent off here for Billericay. He's pulled down Alex Wall. He was the last man. And this is disaster.
Jake Howells is trying to argue his case here. I'm hoping that he doesn't send him off.
Jake Howells' pocket. He has sent him off,
yeah.
It's the second yellow. So Deborah on his debut has unfortunately seen red, and that's in the 52nd minute.
It just shows how quickly things can change. That's 2 yellow cards in 3 minutes for Jesse Deborah. I think the first yellow card was extremely harsh, and the second one, I'm not sure he could have done too much. He did block off Alex Wall, but Alex Wall is pretty physical, and there's a free kick just outside the box now. But anyway, there's no getting around it. We're down to 10.
So just looking at who's on the bench, really for Billericay this afternoon. There's no one really who's a defender who can slip into it.
I think Alfie Potter comes on, and you move Fete into the back three.
Fete's gone back there at the moment, so we'll wait and see. But who do you take off? Maybe Moses Emmanuel,
or you switch to 4 at the back.
There's a free kick here. It's just to the right of centre, about 15 yards outside the 10 to 15 yards outside the Billericay penalty area. Julian lining up his wall. It's Alex Wall and Green standing over it. I think Wall's going to have a pop here. He's going to have a pop. He hits it low. It's blocked by the wall. Connor Smith actually a wall with another shot, and it comes into Alan Julian, who doesn't catch it cleanly, but he is quick to get out and smother the ball. And the danger averted. But as you say, I think the first booking for Deborah was quite harsh. But the referee is consistent. Connor Smith again will try another shot from distance here, and it drops it just sat up nicely from the centre of midfield, about 35 yards out again. We thought he'd have another pop, and Besant was struggling to get back. It dropped about 2 or 3 feet wide of his left-hand post.
For a brief moment, I thought that was flying in, but unfortunately, it just went wide.
Besant clears downfield. The ball headed on by Concord, and Paul Rooney quickly across covers and plays the ball out.
I think Cadogan's getting warmed up. It looks like him from here, perhaps.
Yeah, looks like he's coming on. Cadogan. Kieran Cadogan. Scored midweek, of course, in that win against Southend United. It could be Aaron Sibier, actually. It's Devontae Aaron Sibier's coming on.
Yeah. No, I thought after I'd said it, we've got the whole length of the pitch to look across here. It's quite difficult for an old guy like me to see.
We're all getting to that stage, so there's another foul there, and the referee is... has he sent another player off, or has he just booked him? I think he's just booked him, hasn't he? I don't know what the referee's done here. He's held a card up for Alex Wall.
I think he's sent Alex Wall off.
It's for a dive, isn't it? Alex Wall's been sent off, second yellow card. So it's 10 each. 10 players each. Well, that's interesting. That might prevent substitution being made. But Wall's actually been sent off. Initially, I thought the referee had sent one of the Billericay Town players off, Jake Howells, or something for a challenge, but he hasn't. It's Alex Wall who's been sent off in the 57th minute here. What did you make of that, Lee?
I don't know, but it was in the 31st minute.
Eventful game, Alex Wall. Goal after 4, yellow after 31, red after 57.
And we're taking Billy Clifford off.
Yeah, Billericay making a substitution now.
They've got the numbers wrong. We have got Aaron Sibier on, not Mark Smith. Obviously, Mark Smith is the goalkeeper.
I thought he said Mark Smith. Where's the announcer?
To be fair, they picked the wrong number up.
Well, this makes things extremely interesting. Both teams now down to 10 men. We were just saying that Dulwich Hamlet East Thurrock match looked tasty. All level at half-time there with 10 men on the pitch, and it's all level here with 10 men on each side.
And Concord have made a substitution themselves. They brought off the winger Joe Garner and replaced him with another winger, Lewis White. That's the guy from the under-23 from Millwall, who's in on a 28-day loan. Interestingly, he plays in the same under-23 team as Jesse Deborah.
Concord clear the ball upfield. I mean, this game's really going to open up now. The ball hit up towards Lewis White, intercepted by Jake Howells, and Efforty wins it for Billericay Town. Finds Adam Coombs. Adam Coombs slips a lovely ball out to Emmanuel. Emmanuel shoots, and it's a goal! It's a goal by Moses Emmanuel. Terrible mistake by Sam Besant in the Concord goal, but a first-time shot on the turn by Moses Emmanuel, and we thought more goals would come, and they have. Concord 1, Billericay Town 2.
Well, Adam Coombs, one of his strengths is his ability to link in with play, and he's played a superb through ball there to Moses Emmanuel, and I think Moses, not a lot of space, he hit it instantly, it was towards the goal, and it's crept in at the near post, so I think you probably have to look at the goalkeeper for that one.
Yeah, poor keeper. I don't think he expected the shot lead, to be honest with him. He caught him by surprise. A lovely ball by Adam Coombs on the outside. Moses Emmanuel running into the area, just turned and hit it first time low, and it sort of went between Besant and his near post, and he will not be happy at all about that. But Billericay have come from a goal down here and now lead by 2 goals to 1. How fortunes change.
They certainly do. I mean, it was only a couple of minutes ago when we had our man sent off that we were thinking, you know, if we can desperately hold on for a 1-1 draw, we'll be happy. Now we're 2-1 up.
The ball front forward, and it's played for by Efforty. Connor Smith, score of Billericay's first goal, that spectacular goal, knocks the ball out of play, and Concord, sensing some urgency here, suddenly push forward, and there's a lot of challenges coming in. Jack Midson looks like a man possessed as a shot comes in, and it's a shot turned away by Alan Julian, low down, and it will be a corner. It was a shot by the number 11, Sam Blackman, who hit a vicious dipping shot which bounced in front of Julian, and he managed to carry it away behind for a corner, which will be taken over on this left hand side by Green. Looking for a run of Minshaw, and Julian has to punch the ball away. That's a third very good save Alan Julian's made. Poor mistake by the number 3 Fraser Shaw, hits the ball forward and out of play for a throw.
So it wasn't the most convincing save in the world, but he did what he needed to do and turned it away. So yeah, well played Alan Julian.
I think the ball dipped at the end there, looked as if it had dipped, and Alan, who should have really probably caught it comfortably, had to struggle to make the save, but he got his body behind it, which was the main thing.
And Sam Blackman's dangerous player from midfield, 4 goals in his last 6 games. He's really got on the goal trail recently, so you have to make sure that he's well watched. I think 10v10 now, there's a bit of extra space, and the game's really opening up.
Well, the Joe Kizzy's played the ball off of Mitson there, right in front of the referee, and he's given Concord the throw. It's a very poor decision, very, very poor decision by the referee, who's clearly came off Mitson, and the throw for Concord is level with the edge of the Billericay Town penalty area. Concord pushing forward here, looking to get that equaliser. Long throw comes in again from Green, it's flicked on, and Joe Kizzy will initially clear, then the volley comes in from the edge of the area by Blackman, and it's well wide. It's almost gone towards the corner flag on the far side, and it'll be a goal kick for Billericay. Litson in his urgency running to get the ball and throwing it back to Alan Julian.
Yeah, I think Concord can scarcely believe what's happening to them right now. As fortunate as Billericay are, I think Concord probably feel a little bit hard done by. I think it's always questionable when you get a yellow card for a dive. You know, did he mean it? Did he not mean it? So, you know, I think they'll probably be calling into question that red card, as much as we'll be calling into question ours. I think that perhaps the referee's done the famous evening up there.
It certainly opened the game up. As Howes knocks the ball forward, poor call from Besant, really, and fortunately for him, he's got it now as Fraser Shaw let it drop over his head, and now at the other end there's a similar situation with Alan Julian, but Alan Julian and Rooney almost getting into a tangle out.
Yeah, that was me gasping, I'm afraid, because one left it to the other, and Alan just got there, but Lewis White was on hand, and he almost got a toe on that.
Well, there's a full moon out tonight. It's peeking from behind the clouds here in Cambridge as the sky breaks, and the temperatures drop even more. Moses Emmanuel for Billericay plays the ball to FT. Some good work to get inside the area, and covering tackle from Sam Blackman puts the ball out for a corner to Billericay Town, who lead at Concord by 2 goals to 1. 18 minutes gone in the second half. Howes will go in to take the corner for Billericay Town. Just trotting across it. Comes these good looking corners as well. It goes straight over the top of Adam Coombs. It's picked up on the back post by Kizzy. Ball cleared only as far as FT. Hits it forward. Finds Moses Emmanuel. Moses Emmanuel on the turn. Tried to shoot, and he's convinced that the ball's come off a Concord foot there for a corner, but the referee's indicated a goal kick. Not happy bunny this afternoon, Moses Emmanuel, with some indecision.
Well, if it stays like it is, he's got the winner, so he will have had a decent afternoon.
I think it's a poorly struck shot, and he was probably clutching at straws, asking for a corner there, but nevertheless, the referee ignored it. Out of play on that far side for a throw to Concord, and ball back to Besant, who looks to smash the ball forward here. Billericay have already beaten Concord by 2 goals to 1, of course, this year. They went a goal down in that match as well, in the Essex Senior Cup match at the AGP Arena, and Concord find themselves in exactly the same position. Reminder of the home match, the second game of the season actually for Billericay, the first home game that the two sides drew 1-1.
It's only 65 minutes yet. This half feels longer than the first one.
It does indeed. Julian's free kick goes all the way through to Blackman, who's desperate to get the ball forward and does so quickly. Ball now on the halfway line with Fraser Shaw. Shaw turns it in, only finds Devontae Aaron-Sibia for Billericay. Playing at the number 14. So the ball's
a bit of an aimless ball there from Geraldo Martin. I don't think there was anybody going to get on the end of that. It's rolled out now, and Sam Besant's got it.
Besant with an enormous kick, met by the head of Paul Rooney. Green knocked it forward, and the ball's actually gone over the dugout towards the caravans over on the far side.
Well, I think if anybody says we're not good in the air, which is probably something I said, I've just seen Paul Rooney climb above Jack Midson and beat him to an aerial ball, so that's very encouraging to see.
Quick recap if you're joining us late this afternoon. Billericay went a goal down to Alex Wall in the 4th minute. An eventful afternoon for the Concord Rangers forward, because he received a yellow on 31 and he's just been sent off in the 57th minute. Connor Smith equalised in the 36th minute for Billericay Town with a vicious shot from 35 yards going over the top of keeper Sam Besant, who's a big keeper, and the ball going over the top of him and dipping into the net. And then Moses Emmanuel is giving Billericay the lead after 58 minutes, and all this is after in the second half, after the debutant for Billericay this afternoon, Jesse Deborah was sent off. He has a second yellow card for bringing a player down. The last man, he'd been booked a few minutes earlier, I think mainly for dissent, so not a happy start for him. to break in play as Concord have a free kick with Sam Besant. Just trying to get some power to Lee's phone so we can read your tweets out. In a few seconds' time, the ball is with Manuel on that far side, but it's taken off of him by Pollock.
I promise I charged it before I came, boss.
It's alright, Lee, your job's safe. I'll give you a vote of confidence.
Just don't give it to me on a Monday.
Chance of Harry Miller's Blue and White Army. Coming up from behind the sewage works end there. As Joe Kizzy adjudged to be backing into Aaron Pollock, and Pollock was climbing over the back of him, and something's been said here, and I think the referee's going to book another Billericay Town player for, it could be Connor Smith. Let's have a look for dissent. Jake Howe's going over to have a word. His hand's gone in his pocket again. He's been very strict this afternoon, this referee, on dissent, as we've seen so far. He does indeed show Connor Smith a yellow card. So Smith receives a yellow in the 24th minute of the second half.
Is that another yellow?
There's another yellow card, yeah. It's time for dissent. Did seem a slightly strange decision. Referee accused Kizzy of backing in to for number 6 of Pollock. It looked like Pollock was climbing all over. Oh, long ball into the Billericay Town penalty could cause problems, and Midson goes up for it, but it's Alan Julian to the rescue again. Yes, Gary Bott saying lovely hot chocolate. Don't rub it in, Gary. Debbie Bailey, good to hear Lee. Beats the 99 back on commentary. I hope you're keeping warm, guys. We're not actually. It's freezing cold here. Lee and I are huddled up together. We've got this wall next to us, which is keeping out some of the wind as the substitute Lewis White comes forward and eventually concedes a free kick over on that far side. This is tussling with Geraldo. It'll be a free kick to Billericay outside the area. What else have we got here?
I'll just give a message to Debbie Bailey. I'll be home later, darling.
Oh, the ladies' match apparently tomorrow. I said it was at 2. It's kicking off at 1:30 p.m. Thanks, Mark, for that. He's the programme editor. Billericay Town. They change every week these times, don't they? 1 o'clock, 1:30, 2 o'clock.
The main thing is they keep winning.
Kizzy turns the ball back to Alan Julian, who slices a clearance. Picked up by Fraser Shaw and headed forward, and now Fraser Shaw gets the better of Efferty, and Lewis White will go down this left side. He's a right-footed player playing on the left-hand side, and Efferty does well, and then pushes into the ground and concedes an unnecessary free kick because White was running away from goal there.
He's pretty quick, Lewis White, isn't he? I mean, I think he's obviously got big shoes to fill because he's coming from Liam Nash, who was on loan from Gillingham and was so successful. But yeah, he's looked lively since he's come on.
It's a free kick, almost as good as a corner down by the corner flag on the left-hand side, which Green will take. He floats it across, and Julian again, 2 hands, pushes it away. Did extremely well there, Alan Julian, to divert the danger away. Had Nixon coming in on him. And,
I was worried there. Lee Minshaw had risen like a salmon. He was just about to head the ball in, and Alan managed to pull the ball away.
Minshaw inside the penalty area finds Midson, might tee himself up for a shot here and still plays it to the left-hand side where it finds Fraser Shaw. Fraser Shaw with a tee in front of him, dinks the ball into the penalty area looking for Green. Green will run across the area, and he's fouled by Devon Aaron Sibia, who looked to have clearly won the ball there.
I think that's a silly one, to be honest with you. He was chasing Danny Green away from goal and decided to nudge him, and I think, you know, probably a little bit of inexperience there. He's put his body into Danny Green when he didn't really need to. So now Danny Green's picked himself up, he's put the ball down, and he's a dangerous guy with a free kick.
Aaron Sibia, of course, who gave away the ball that led to the Chippenham winner on Saturday last week. It's a free kick central, probably about 30 yards from goal. Green standing over it at the moment. And he's going to have a shot here. He takes a shot, it's a low one, it's a good shot, and it's just gone wide of Alan Julian's upright. It may have got a deflection. Alan may have even got a fingertip to that. It's a corner, I think he said. Alan saved it.
It brushed Alan's gloves. I mean, it was a great free kick from Danny Green.
People congratulating Alan Julian, saying he must have got a fingertip to that. It was only the faintest one, but it's a corner to Concord, and it comes in this time. It's a deep across to that far post, and Minshaw's up there and gets ahead to it, but it's straight into the hands of Alan Julian. And the score remains Concord 1, Billericay Town 2. Julian's been a hero for Billericay Town this afternoon.
I think he's got a point to prove, hasn't he? Not necessarily to us and the fans, but to somebody. And he certainly played very well today.
Efforty always getting in the mix-up with Kizzy on the halfway line. Eventually goes for the ball and plays it back to Julian. He comes under pressure, Julian, from the substitute, Lewis White. Who forces him to kick the ball out quicker than he probably would have wanted. And Geraldo will launch a ball forward for Billericay. It's headed on by Coombs. And then ball comes off of Efforty for a throw to Concord Rangers. And there could be another substitute. Here, number 14's coming on. That's Abdullah for Concord Rangers. Just wait to see who's coming off. It's the number 6, so Pollock's come off. And the number 14 of Abdullah's on.
That's a slightly more attacking substitution with Pollock being a holding defensive midfield player and Abdullah having a slightly freer rein. Plays central midfield as well, but he'll get forward a lot more. And he's actually Saudi born.
He's got his gloves on, I don't blame him. In fact, I think he's the only player wearing gloves out on the pitch this afternoon, but he's probably the only sensible one. The ball thrown forward, there's a push in the back of Mitson by FT, but the ball goes out of play for a throw-in. No further action taken by a referee. Fraser Short will look for Mitson, and he was looking for that. He's fallen to the floor, and I think he's come the referee there. He's gone over the legs of Efforty. Efforty, of course, has to be just a little bit careful because he's already on a yellow card, and we don't want another sending off yet for something silly.
Abdullah's a product of the West Ham Academy and played for Barnet, and he played at Whitehawk for a couple of seasons with Sam Deering.
Green again will get the cross in. It's a good cross, and again Alan Julian, 2 hands, comes off his line and punches the ball away and diverts the danger. It's gone behind for a corner. But if they're bringing on a slightly more attacking player for a defensive one, then there's going to be gaps at the back which Billericay could possibly exploit on the counter. Just have to wait and see. Again, Green, this time from the far side in front of the Caravans, will take a corner. And it's headed in. Oh, no, it's not. Mitson with a flashing header just wide of Julian's right-hand post. And I actually thought for 1 second he had gone in.
Yeah, clever corner. I mean, what you've got there is you've got a hard low corner hit there. Midson, he's peeled off into on the front post and got ahead of his man and glanced it, and it's literally glanced across the whole of the goal and just gone wide. For a second I thought that was going to nestle into the bottom corner of the net, but thankfully for Billericay, it's still 2-1.
Well, Alan Julian's going to be booked for time wasting. If I'd have put money on that at the beginning of the game. So Julian's been booked in the 76th minute. He's a very strict referee, this one. He didn't take that long to take a kick, no more than normal, but the referee just making sure there's no time wasting going on here. Coombs goes to the ground, the ball with Devontae Aaron Sibia from shooting range, but he's forced wide, gets it onto the left foot, gets the ball in, it's a handball. Some of the fans behind the goal going up there. There's a ball's kicked forward, And there's going to be another substitution here. And Billericay are going to bring on Cadogan, I think, this time. For Adam Coombs. So
Adam's walking off about as slowly as you can get. And Cadogan seems to have a fascination with his socks. So yeah, we'll try and drag this out as long as we can.
For the third time today I've dropped my pen because I can't feel it as I'm trying to write. I think I might have lost that one. It's gone underneath the it's gone underneath the table. Here we are, there it is. No, I can't get it. There's no getting that one. It's gone. Maybe at the end of the game we can find it. I just have to remember everything now. Connor Smith finds Drake Howes to Aaron Sibby. Aaron Sibby out to Cadogan's first touch of the game. Aaron Sibby inside. The shot comes in there from Cadogan and good looking effort actually by Cadogan, but it was blocked. Efforty and into the back of Fraser Shaw. Has to be a little bit careful as you see because he's already on the yellow card. The ball knocked forward by backman for Canvey. Hits the ball up to the number 14 Abdullah. Abdullah knocks it forward, but it's met by Jake Howes and Cadogan with a lovely touch to Howes, who's on that left wing now, just over the halfway line. Finds Emmanuel and the block challenge comes in and Abdullah hits it up to the halfway line, but it's Geraldo to Aaron Sibia to Moses Emmanuel on that left hand side, teasing the defender, slipping the ball forward and he's getting on the end of it and he's got a bang in the face there, Moses Emmanuel, as the ball goes all the way back up to Alan Julian, who will clear it out of into touch. The throwing comes quickly for Concord. Billericay struggled to get a play back. A deep post to the far side and it was aimed towards Mitton and Mitton ends up in the back of the net, but Alan Julian was out there to catch the ball comfortably. Julian will clear again, right-footed. Up the pitch, it's pushing to the back of Moses Emmanuel. Aaron Sibia, who's pushing forward, finds Emmanuel, and I think the flag might have gone up for offside on this far side. It has. The assistant's partially obscured by the crowd to our right-hand side, but just saw the flag coming up there.
Yeah, it looks to be like Billericay are leaving Moses alone on his own up front and encouraging Aaron Sibia or Cadogan to break from midfield if they can to support him. Although Moses is looking a little bit isolated at the moment.
Cadogan's been quite impressive in the couple of minutes he's been on. Made a couple of very, very good runs.
Yeah, I mean he's looked good in some of the other previous games I've seen, and what I've noticed with him as well, although he is a winger, he does drift inside quite a bit, and he likes to get involved in play from central areas too.
Besant comes out of his goal there under a challenge from Moses, manages to clear. Kizzy, very sharp, gets across to cut the ball out going up towards the Billericay defence, and it will be Minshall in his own half for Concord. Knocks a long ball forward looking for the run of number 2 Popper, but it's a ball that drifts out of play and it will be a goal kick to Billericay Town.
And I think the other thing I've noticed last 10 minutes is Mishi Afeti is certainly playing further back now. He's not making those bursting runs that he was in the first sort of 60 minutes. Clearly that's there to help preserve the lead.
Alan Julian cheekily runs towards Popu there as Popu played the ball back, knowing jolly well that it will go across the face of goal, waste a few more seconds. That's experience for you. It's Cadogan on this right hand side, slips the ball through from Emmanuel into the area. Emmanuel gets the ball across the face of goal and Besant goes down at his left hand post and turns it behind I think for a corner to Billericay. It is a corner to Billericay. There's no way Emmanuel was going to score from there, but he's forced the next best thing because there weren't any Billericay Town players up in the box.
to be fair to Emmanuel, he's called him out once at the near post. Why not have another go? He hit that one hard and low, and this time Besant made the save, and it's a corner to Billericay. It should be taken by Jack Howes.
Yeah, it was a much tighter angle, this one. If it had gone in, that would have been a horrendous error by the keeper. He's already made a couple this afternoon. And both of them are led to goals as Howes will float the corner in towards Besant, and he's almost lost it. It looked like he pulled it back from one hand, and the referee's coming out again here with a book because Besant was tripped on the way up. Now who's he calling back here? Paul Rooney, by the looks of it, is going to get a yellow card for catching the goalkeeper. Now that is harsh. That is very harsh. Not a lot Paul Rooney could have done to get out of the way of that, and he finds himself with a yellow card in the 83rd minute. Free kick taken, and Rooney up in the air.
Well, we've had about 6 yellow cards.
Oh, there's a terrible tackle there. I was just going to say, now this has got to be a yellow card. It could even be a red card. It's a flying tackle. It's going to be a yellow card for the number 11, who's Sam Blackman. He's gone in there on it was Jake Howes who's on the receiving end of that one. So we have another yellow card. 2 sendings off. 5 yellow cards in this game so far.
For me, Chris, it's not been a dirty game. I think the referee has been zero tolerance, but what I would say is that I don't feel there's been any favouritism towards one side or the other. I think he's cracked down on both teams. So, from that perspective, all we want is consistency and everyone treated the same. And from that angle, I think he's done okay.
I'm just wondering if there's more trouble here because the referee's going across. He's having a word with somebody because he had a chat with the linesman. No, he's continued walking, so I think he's just going to allow the free kick to take place. But he was having a chat with the official on that far side about something in front of the dugout there. He's let it go anyway.
Any player's got to be careful because he will send you off, and he'll send you off. He'll give you a second yellow for the slightest offence.
Probably a bit over officious. I'm not saying his decisions are wrong. I'm just saying they're a little bit harsh. Some of them. The ball comes off again off Joe Kizzy, and it's thrown to Concord halfway inside the Billericay half on that Concord right hand side.
I guess my biggest concern with referees is that very bad tackles go unpunished or reds get yellow.
Green gets a long throw into the area, it's headed away by Howes. He picks up by Green as he looks to get across it, and it's a poor crossfire. It goes behind everybody, and he's caught by Alan Julian.
I think when referees don't sanction offences correctly, then it gives licence to do bad tackles, and you can see players get injured, and none of us want to see that.
Ball back in the Concord half. It will roll through to Sam Besant, who comes to the edge of his area as the sky is darkened, and he kicks a long ball forward. It's Joe Kizzy has Nixon backing into. Mitchell ends up on the floor looking for a free kick, doesn't get it, and Connor Smith will just hit a ball to safety really. It's picked up by Minshaw. Minshaw will come down his left hand side. He dummies Cadogan and then plays the ball out to Fraser Shaw, but Efferty was there quickly. Hits the ball downfield, and it's gone straight to Besant, who immediately knocks it out. A long diagonal ball looking for Nixon. He's intercepted, headed forward, but Billericay with all hands on the pump now. Trying to defend here. Popo finds Fraser Shaw. Fraser Shaw blocks by Efferty, and Connor Smith will curl the ball out of play just in front of us here.
3 minutes to go, so start to bite your nails now.
3 minutes plus time for the substitutions, and you haven't had any injuries this second half, no? Bit of time wasting perhaps. I reckon he'll play about 3 or 4 minutes late. Minshaw on the halfway line again sends a left-footed pass forward. It's picked up by Jake Howes, who calls for it, and the clearance will be completed by Kizzy. Again knocks it down, looking for the run of Moses Emmanuel. Cadogan wins the ball and he's got a chance to break here. He's got Moses Emmanuel in the middle. He takes it down to the corner flag. Is he going to have it? It's a good cross. It's a deep cross to the far post. Nobody there. It's drifted out of play for a goal kick. Could have done a bit better there. Cadogan, I think, may have tried to hold up play a bit and waited for players to get.
Yeah, great approach play. Pushed the ball past the defender, went to the byline, but ultimately the cross, there wasn't anyone in the box and it all petered out.
Present with a goal kick. Nixon doing his utmost to get there to head the ball. Doesn't get to it, but the ball will be hit forward by Fraser Shaw. Immediately played forward by Kizzy, and then Abdullah knocks the ball forward. And Rooney heads it for Billericay. Still not clear. Green on that far side for Concord. Press the ball to Abdullah and then strikes the ball against the arm of Geraldo. No chance of a handball there. And Billericay will win a throw in the far side. Some of the Concord Rangers fans have had enough. I don't know why you'd leave the game at this stage.
Yeah, that always surprises and frustrates me. Any game, people leaving just before the end. I think you've paid your money, you don't know what the result is. Stick around and find out.
Well, the referee having a chat with Sammy Moore by the looks of it. But might be one of his assistants with a hat on. I think something was said and the referee's just asked him to go and sit down. Those taken, it's right. Finds going, it's knocked on Paul Rooney, the impressive Paul Rooney heads it forward, and then Aaron Sibic concedes a free kick, and again the referee is calling Concord player towards him.
I think there was a little bit of a dramatic shout and dive, and I think the referee is probably having a little word with him and warning him about what happened to Alex Ball.
He's certainly a very authoritarian referee. Anything that's said he's clamping down on.
They do have a free kick, dangerous position though.
In the last minute of the game, 45 minutes is up. According to my watch, this could be the last chance for Concord to grab an equaliser here. Green will pump the ball into the area again. Cross comes in, it's diverted by Kizzy, and then Cadogan with a very good clearance up to halfway line. It's actually picked up by the Concord goalkeeper Sam Besant, who thumps a good looking ball towards edge of the box. Rooney is up to meet it. A volley comes in, Julian goes down, header up, hasn't been cleared yet, still hasn't been cleared yet. Metzen shoots, there's a handball, referee says no, and the ball cleared in the air again. Concord players complaining left, right and centre, but now there could be a chance for Billericay to break. It's with Moses Emmanuel, plays a good looking ball to Cadogan, and it will be a 1-against-1. Cadogan on the halfway line, goes across the halfway line. There's two players coming back now. Cadogan takes it to the left and he's trying to find a bit of space. He couldn't go all the way alone, and eventually he brings one of his players down, and it'll be a free kick to Concord, and it's Lewis White and Cadogan having a bit of argy-bargy over on that far side as tempers start to fray.
I think that ball was struck powerfully. It would have hit one of the Billericay players who was standing right in front of him. I think if it did hit the hand, then I can't think that it could have been called. It had to be accidental.
The ball goes into Billericay penalty area, and it's Alan Julian quickly off his line again in front of the feet of Popo to hold on to the ball. We haven't seen the board go up. We've played already over a minute of added on time. No announcement's been made either by the officials at the ground. The ball knocked forward again, and another attack here possibly for Concord, but Jake Howes, who will play the ball to Connor Smith. Connor Smith will hit a ball from right to left, finds Devontae Aaron Sibier on that left-hand touchline, and he loses out and then pulls down the Concord player and concedes another free kick. It was Green who's gone tumbling to the floor.
Well, I make it 47 minutes gone and I haven't seen the board, so I'm a little bit mystified here.
He hasn't indicated to officials. Sammy Moore's even standing out there pointing to his wrist and wondering what's going on. Joe Kizzy wins a header from a free kick. The referee looks at his watch and as the ball comes into a penalty area, there's a chance here as Rooney goes down and the referee is going to give a penalty. He's given a penalty against Paul Rooney here for the most unbelievably innocuous challenge. And he's calling Paul Rooney overdue. Now I don't know what Paul Rooney's done here. He's having a chat with Paul Rooney and the referee he's given a penalty. He's given a penalty to...
I didn't see a penalty there. I saw Paul Rooney face up to his man, bit of contact, upper body contact, but it wasn't a pull. His arms were down, and I can't understand why he's given a penalty here. The Concord player's thrown himself to the ground and celebrated like a mad thing when he's got the penalty. I think he's been played there.
Well, you're not the only one. It's a very, very poor decision in my book from the official. But with the last kick of the game, 48
This is going to be Midson from the spot.
Midson steps up. He'll probably hit it to the right, I think. He hits it to the left and he scores. And it's 2-2 and Concord Rangers have grabbed an equaliser here at the death. So it's Concord 2, Billericay Town 2. And that's... I'll make that the 94th minute, that goal. It's just a shame Billericay couldn't hang on, but I think they've been done by a very poor refereeing decision there, Luke.
You know what? I think I would have took a draw if we could get a draw from this game. It's a tough place to come, and it clearly from it wasn't a penalty. But there's not a lot you can do about these things. You get a bad refereeing decision every week, and people get tired with guys going on about them. But it was disappointing, and it clearly wasn't a penalty for me.
There's still a chance for somebody to grab it here. Popo runs up towards the byline and gets a deep-looking crossing, looking for the number 15 of Lewis White, who collects it on this side. We've now played 4 minutes added on time. The cross comes into good-looking ball, and Gerardo will turn it behind for a corner kick to Concord Rangers. As you say, a tough place to come, but Billericay have generally played okay the second half. Certainly didn't need to concede. As the corner comes in and it's headed away very well by Efforty, and Efforty will find only the yellow shirt of Abdullah, knocks it forward to Lewis White running towards that penalty area. Shot comes in and from point blank range it's been knocked over by Connor Essam. My word. And then Alan Julian's been pushed to the floor. Well, surely that's got to be it.
Now we're entering the 51st minute.
Yes, I think the referee's watch might have stopped here. Well, all things being equal here, who's your man of the match for Billericay Town this afternoon, Lee?
I think for me it has to be Alan Julian for a world-class save in the first half, which would have led to 2-0. I think that would have been very difficult to come back from. He's been great when called upon. He's made 2 or 3 other saves, none as good as the first half save, and been very authoritative in coming for the ball.
Well, still the referee hasn't blown his whistle yet, and the ball comes in again, and Midson will try a header and it falls into the arms of Alan Julian, and that will be it. Eventually, we're in the 52nd minute of the second half. Jake Howes has gone up to have a word with the referee, and the referee surrounded by Billericay Town players for that decision, which has arguably robbed Billericay Town of 2 points here this afternoon, but probably on the day a fair result, Lee, 2-2.
I think Concord would have been kicking themselves if they'd lost this game after the way that they got the better of the first half. Certainly, Billericay came back into it in the second half, but then we looked in serious trouble when we lost the young guy that made his debut today, Jesse Deborah, yeah. And then the referee evened it up soon afterwards with Alex Wall going on a slightly unfortunate second yellow card as well. But I think Billericay, they showed a lot of character. performance of the defence certainly improved as the game went on, as they got to know each other. And I think that the passing in the second half was a little bit more fluent, and they withstood the sort of bombardment from Concord. So overall, I think it's a creditable result after a difficult week, and there's certainly a lot there for Harry to look at and take some encouragement from.
Some exceptionally good performances for Billericay this afternoon. As we said, Alan Julian deservedly getting the man of the match from Billericay Town Live Radio. We've hoped you've enjoyed commentary this afternoon. Don't forget to join us next week for the home match against Welling, and we hope to join you from around about 2:45 there. It should be a good crowd, hopefully a good crowd at the AGP, looking to welcome Harry Wheeler back home. So the first match of the Harry Wheeler, at least the second Harry Wheeler tenure, is a draw. Of course, Jamie Hara will be a bit disappointed this afternoon, having conceded so late on, but really there's nothing you can do when referees give decisions like that. The final score then, here at Thames Road, Canvey Island, is Concord Rangers 2, Billericay Town 2.